Good morning, everyone. Today we will study chapter 17 Waste Management. In this chapter, we will study different types of waste and we will study how to manage different types of waste. So, let's start the chapter. First, we will understand what is garbage. Garbage means the waste generated at the homes. It is called garbage. It is also known as trash. At homes, we are using dustbins for collecting the waste so as to keep our home and the surroundings clean. With the increase in the population, the amount of the garbage generated, it is also increasing. So the disposal of the garbage in a proper manner, it is a big challenge. Now the question comes, why? Because if we burn the garbage, then it produces smoke and poisonous gases, which results in the pollution of air. So this option of burning the garbage, it is ruled out because it is resulting in the air pollution. Second is, if we dispose the garbage in the water bodies, then it will pollute the water bodies. So this option is also not a good idea. So now we will see how we can manage the waste so that it does not harm our environment. But before understanding that, it is important to understand what are the different types of waste. Let us see the different types of waste. Depending on the property of the decay, the waste, it has been classified into the two types. Number one is the biodegradable waste and another one is non-biodegradable waste. Let us see what is biodegradable waste. The waste that decays and decomposes naturally is called biodegradable waste. That means the waste which completely breaks down. The biodegradable waste, it rot down completely if buried in the soil. And another name for the biodegradable waste is the wet waste. If we talk about the examples are vegetable and the fruit peels, tea dust, eggshells, and the major part of the garbage that comes from the home, they all come under the category of the biodegradable waste. Now the another one is the non-biodegradable waste. The waste that does not decay or decompose is called non-biodegradable waste. That means the non-biodegradable waste, they do not break down completely in the soil, so they keep on accumulating. And the examples are plastic bags, polythene covers, plastic bottles, plastic spoons, etc. But these kind of waste, they can be recycled or reused. And the another name given to such wastes is dry waste. And now we will see management of waste. Waste production, it cannot be stopped altogether, but the waste produced, it can be managed by segregating the waste first and then disposing the waste or recycling the waste wisely. What is the meaning of segregation of waste? Segregation of waste means separating biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste at home. It will help the collecting person in the disposal of the waste. So how we can do this? The easy way is to keep the two different dustbins. Like one is green color dustbins, it should be for the biodegradable waste like kitchen waste, garden waste, etc. And the second one, which is blue color dustbin, it should be used for the non-biodegradable waste that can be recycled or reused. But the toxic or poisonous waste such as batteries, medicine and paint, they should be separated and disposed of using safe methods. Otherwise, they may pollute the soil and groundwater as well. Now we will see the management of the biodegradable waste. The good thing about the biodegradable waste is that the biodegradable waste, they can be recycled by the natural method. And the one of easy and the cheap method is the composting method. Let us see how we can do composting. Here you can see, if we talk about the ingredients of the compost, ingredient means the raw materials required for the composting method. They are the waste from the kitchens, straw, sawdust, dry leaves and the animal dung and the garden waste as well. These are buried in the compost pit. Then microorganisms in the soil, they will decompose this biodegradable waste and convert that into the manure. The manure, it is organic matter, it increases the fertility of the soil and it also helps in the better growth of the plants. So we saw that how using the composting method we converted the biodegradable waste in the manure. The vermicomposting, it is another method for the disposal of biodegradable waste. In the vermicomposting method, the red worms, they are added in the compost pit. These red worms, they ensures that the decaying matter it is mixed uniformly, and the earthworms, they also fasten the process of the composting. In the vermicomposting also, the end product is the manure, which is a biofertilizer. It increases the fertility of the soil, and it also supports the better growth of the plants. So we saw that by using these two methods, vermicomposting and the composting, we are converting the biodegradable waste into manure, which is again a organic matter, which is good for the environment, which is not creating any kind of pollution, and it is good for the soil also, and it is good for the growth of the plants as well. And when we are making the manure using these biodegradable waste, we are also saving our money, which we are using for purchasing the chemical fertilizers. So these are the methods, composting and the vermicomposting, which are giving us best out of the waste. Now we will see the another method, that is landfills. The another way for managing the biodegradable waste is to dispose them in the landfills. Now let us see what are the landfills. Landfills, they are the low-lying open areas where the garbage of the city is disposed of. But before dumping the garbage in the landfills, the non-biodegradable, reusable components of the garbage, they are separated out. That means the non-biodegradable waste that can be reused or recycled, they will be separate out, and the remaining components, they will be dumped in the landfill, and afterwards they will be covered with a layer of soil, and the fresh layer of the garbage, they are added until this landfill is full. And later on, when the landfill is full, it is converted into a park or a playground. Okay, so this was all about the management of the biodegradable waste. Now we will see how to manage non-biodegradable waste. Disposal of non-biodegradable waste, it is a problem, because if these waste they are put in the landfills, they will remain there under the soil for a long time, and which may also pollute the soil and groundwater. And secondly, there is also a severe shortage of land for the landfills in cities. So now question comes, then what is the best way to manage non-biodegradable waste? Answer is by reducing the amount of waste generation and reusing or recycling the waste. So let us understand these terms, reusing and recycling of waste. Using the materials instead of throwing them away as waste, it is called reuse. For example, plastic items, paper products, aluminum containers, etc. they can be reused for various other purposes. Another example is used newspapers. They can be reused for covering the books, and they can also be used for making paper envelopes. Now see recycling. Recycling is a method of collecting and processing the waste to make new items. So by following these methods of reuse and recycle, the amount of waste generated, it can be minimized, and which helps us to keep our environment clean. Now let us see how to manage paper waste. Wood is used to make paper. Although paper is a biodegradable material, but to make paper we have to cut down the trees. So how we can save trees? By less usage of paper and by recycling of paper, we can save trees, and we can also reduce the generation of paper waste. So at homes, the leftover blank pages from the notebooks of the previous years, they can be reused for the rough work, and the newspapers and the used paper, they can be sold to the scrap dealers who can then send them for recycling. Okay, so by less usage of paper and by recycling of paper, we can reduce the generation of paper waste, and it will also help in saving the trees. Now we will see how to manage plastic waste. Plastics are the convenient materials used in our daily life. Plastics have many advantages. Like plastics are light in weight, plastic is durable, it is low cost, and it can be easily molded into the various shapes easily. Because of the various advantages of the plastics, nowadays we see that most of the objects that we use in our daily life, they are made up of plastics. Like packaging of milk, packaging of bread, polythene covers, etc. are plastic materials. But Due to the non-biodegradable property of the plastics and the excess usage of the plastic, it has resulted into the large accumulation of plastic. Now, what is the solution? Can we burn the plastic? No, this is not a good idea, because if we burn the plastic, it produces poisonous gases. So, plastics, they are dumped in the landfills. Here some suggestions have been given for reducing the generation of plastic waste and how we can effectively manage plastic waste. Number 1, plastics, they can be reused. For example, polythene covers, plastic bottles, they can be reused. So we should reduce the use of the polythene covers and plastic packaging materials, and we should also reuse the plastic bottles, covers and the plastic boxes. Now we will see 4R rule for the management of waste. Number 1 is reduce unnecessary use of non-biodegradable materials and their disposal. For example, clay mugs can be used in place of glass or plastic tumblers for supplying tea in the trains by Indian Railway system. Second is the reuse. Reuse the non-biodegradable items if it is possible. Another one is recycle. Recycle plastic items, paper, metal items, etc. Recycle means collecting and processing the waste to make new products. So the plastic items, paper, metal items, etc., they should be recycled. Last is refuse unnecessary plastic packaging materials and the things that increases waste. For example, at shops, we can refuse plastic bags, and we can use cloth bags and jute bags in place of plastic bags. So this was all about the 4R rule. Now we will see what is the role of municipality or city corporation in keeping the surroundings clean. Municipalities are the authority responsible for keeping towns clean. In the cities, this responsibility for keeping the cities clean, it is with corporations, and in villages, panchayats are responsible for keeping the villages clean. But the waste management, it is not one person job. Okay, so every individual and authorities, they should play their roles to keep the surroundings clean. Let us see the responsibilities of the municipality or the corporations in keeping the surroundings clean. It is the responsibility of the authorities to find and allot the site that is suitable for landfills. And the authorities, they employ people for collection of garbage from door to door. They also provide safe equipments like gloves, face masks, waste bins and transportation to the cleaners who collects the garbage from door to door. And the staff is also trained to handle the proper disposal of the waste. So this was all about the role of municipality or city corporation in keeping our surroundings clean. Now we will see public's role in waste management. Public should take care not to litter waste in their surroundings. So people should not throw garbage here and there, and the garbage should always be thrown in the dustbins. Let us see how to manage e-waste. E-waste means electronic waste. Electronic waste, it refers to the discarded electronic materials, and it includes television sets, computers, mobile phones and refrigerator. These electronic devices, they contain toxic substances like lead, phosphorus, cadmium, beryllium, etc. And nowadays we know that people, they are buying more and more electronic materials, because of which the e-waste is increasing. And if this e-waste, it is not disposed of properly, then it may end up in the landfills, and which may contaminate air, water, soil also. That means it may cause the air, water and soil pollution, and it can also result in the health problems in the living beings. So what is the solution? If we are having any electronic item at our home that we are not using, but that is in the good condition, then we should donate that. Or if our electronic device, it is not working now, we should not throw that in the garbage. We should not throw that in the dustbin, because it contains toxic chemicals inside them, so which is bad for our environment. So we should send e-waste to the e-waste recycling center. Next is biomedical waste. The waste from hospitals, dispensaries, medical laboratories, and nursing homes are called biomedical wastes. And examples are syringes, used cotton, urine and stool samples, and other medical equipments. Biomedical waste, it should be disposed of very carefully, otherwise it may cause infections. So this was all about the e-waste and biomedical waste. In the last, I would like to say that as a responsible individual, it is our responsibility to keep our surroundings clean, and we should always throw garbage in the dustbins, and we should never throw garbage here and there, and we should keep our surroundings clean. So here chapter 17 is complete. Thank you.